slept with 107 women. She's the one who took my virginity. I was just hitting anything at this point. I didn't care if you were somebody's mom. Going and smashing a chick on the weekend to me was just like waking up and brushing my teeth. I slept with 107 women over 468 weeks, fellas, right? And it all started in high school. My first girlfriend took my virginity. I stayed with my grandma at the time. And my first girlfriend, for some reason, she was allowed to come over very frequently. And this, I don't know why, because my grandma was very old school. So when it came to having girls over or me seeing a girl, she was like very weird about that thing. But for some reason, she gave me the benefit of doubt and letting me see my girlfriend and letting her come over to my house. And she's the one who took my virginity. One day she let her come through and, we got down to business and that's all there is to it. I was a little nervous at that time, just like anybody else's first time losing their V card. And from that point on, that's honestly what just got the ball rolling, fellas. Fast forward 3 years later, right? At the time, I was about 15, 16. I can't remember exactly what time, but fast forward 3 years later, I'm like 18, 19 at this time, right? And that's when I just started going crazy, fellas. This is the moment in my life where I just lost count of how many bodies I had, right? Which is not it's anything to brag about. I'm not here displaying it like a fucking trophy or anything. No, I'm just trying to tell you guys, like, this is exactly what happened. Every time I went out to a bar or to a college party, I was always going back to somebody's crib, a chick's crib, or they were either coming back to the place that I was staying at the time, right? This was every weekend, guys. This wasn't just like, once a month type of thing. This was every single fucking weekend, right? And I remember this time specifically, I had just met this one girl at a bar. Didn't know her I just didn't know her at all. And that night we ended up going back to her place. And, guys, I ended up hitting it. And what you guys have to understand is there comes a cost when it comes to these things, right? Like I was just hitting anything at this point. I'm not saying I was hitting like fucking twos, no. I was hitting about anywhere from 8 to 10s, right? Nothing below. But you have to understand that I could have caught something, right? Something could have happened to me while going out and doing these things and sleeping with multiple women every single fucking weekend, right? It didn't matter what age you were. I didn't care if you were somebody's mom. I didn't care. It didn't matter, right? Now, I'm gonna be very careful when I say that, because when I say I didn't care what age, I'm talking about obviously of age and up, right? Didn't care if you're fucking 40, fucking 30. It didn't matter, right? If I found you attractive, I'm going and smashing, right? That's all there is to it. I was 19 or 20 going to bars, fellas. I never got ID because I always looked older than what I was. Guys, for example, I had a beard since I was in 7th grade. Not a full grown beard. I had the goatee in 7th grade, but once high school hit, that's when I finally started growing my beard. But from that moment on, I never really got carded for anything, right? Unless it was at a gas station for some fucking blunts or something. But when it came to going to bars or anything like that, I never really got carded. And even if I did, I always knew somebody who was of age that could get me into the bar. So when I turned 21, fellas, like going to the bar was just very fucking boring to me because I've done it for years prior to me turning 21. Because you know how everybody's 21st birthday is. It's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go to the bar. But as soon as I turned 21, that's when I was like, this shit is fucking boring, bro. I've been doing this shit. 18, 19, that's when I started going crazy. And the 21, that's when I just lost count, right? Because going and smashing a chick on the weekend to me was just like waking up and brushing my teeth. It was very easy to me, right? And a lot of the time, I didn't have to engage with a female. Like, I'm not saying I never did, but I'm saying like there was times where females would engage with me. I'm just like, all right, fuck it, let's smash. Like, that was my goal. It just became very normal to me, I should say, right? And my friend group would tell me like, oh man, like, I wish I was like you. I wish I was in good shape. I wish I looked as good as you, because then maybe I'd get some chicks, right? And to me at the time, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't understand at the time that what I was doing was just so normal to me that everybody else looked at it like it was very hard to achieve. Some of you guys might be wondering where I'm at now. So right now I'm 23 years old. I'm in a relationship. I'm faithful. I'm in the best shape of my life. God is everything in my life. God is always first, right? And wasn't always like this, fellas, because as I just explained to you, I lived the most of my life like how I just explained to you guys. You know, looking forward to every weekend so I can smash somebody, right? But now it's the complete opposite. It took a long road to get here, and it didn't happen just overnight. Most important thing that I want to talk about today is no matter what it is you're doing, guys, always put God first. So before I started going to church, fellas, I would always sleep with somebody and then have that empty feeling afterwards, right? And I would ask myself, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep just getting with any chick and then sleeping with her even if I didn't know her, right? And I always told myself, like, dude, there's no benefit to this, so why the fuck do you keep doing it? And the thing is, guys, like I mentioned, I always felt that guilty feeling after sleeping with a chick, right? There came a point to where I always had instant regret after sleeping with a chick. Now, when I was 18, 19 years old, no, it didn't happen because, like I said, guys, it just became so normal to me between me in high school and then me afterwards, me graduating high school. Like, it just became so normal, right? And then there came a point to where I just done it so many times to where I actually started thinking, like, fellas, there's no benefit to this, right? And why do I feel like shit after doing this? Once I started going to church, guys, I finally understood why I started feeling like shit, right? And the reason you feel regret after doing anything is because that is God sending you notifications from above telling you you are not doing the right thing, right? And fellas, what I believe in is that voice that tells you right from wrong. That's God's voice. So if you take part, let's say in a night of drinking, right? You may feel great in the moment, you know, because you're all drunk and you're around your friends or whatever. But the day after, you always feel like shit. And the reason is why is because that's God telling you. He's giving you that signal. Like, the reason why you feel like shit is because you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not on your purpose. You're not working towards the man God is calling you to be. So that's exactly why you feel like that. But so anytime in life, guys, that you feel wrong, just remember, that's God telling you that you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And that's exactly why I felt the way I did when I would sleep with women, right? That's why I feel guilty, because God was telling me that's not what you're supposed to be doing, bro. So let's get back on track. When I was just fucking around, sleeping with multiple women on the weekend, I didn't listen to my conscience, right? But now that I listen to my conscience, fellas, everything in my life just got better, right? Like, my physique improved. I started journaling my thoughts. I started reading the fucking Bible. I started reading books, right? I started working towards everything. I started listening to my conscience. Everything that it was telling me to do, I fucking did, right? I started waking up early. And the first few months of my day, I'd open up my Bible, I'd spend with God, I'd pray, you know, to set the tone for the rest of the day. Because I believe in, when you wake up in the morning, that's a blessing, because God didn't have to wake you up. You could have died in your sleep. So the first moments of your day should be shown with gratitude to our fucking creator, because he didn't have to wake you up, guys, right? And another thing is, like, I was already in the gym, right? But like I said, my physique got better because I fully locked in. I didn't have any more distractions, right? I fully locked in with the gym, and also my eating, right? Like, you guys know that working out is just 10% of the part, but 90% of the part is what you put into your body, right? You don't get to 8 to 9% fat by fucking eating whatever you want, right? It all comes down to understanding what to put in your body and how your body actually works. And relationships that put God first will always be the ones standing in the end, right? It doesn't have to be a perfect relationship. You guys can fight every day, but if God's always first, that relationship will always last. Another topic I want to speak on today, fellas, is just women in general, right? Because a lot of men see getting the woman of their dreams like very fucking difficult, like it's the hardest thing on earth, but what most guys don't understand is all you have to do is just take care of the basics, right? And the rest will work for you. Most men think women are not human beings. They treat them like they're some other type of species, right? They're like, oh, I can't go and talk to her. And they start shitting their pants. But in reality, guys, they wake up in the morning, they take shits just like us. Women are exactly like us. So if you go and talk to a female just like how you talk to your buddy, everything will be fine, right? So stop overcomplicating it. It's actually easier than you think. Guys, from my years of just sleeping with multiple women, like I slept with all types of women, right? Every female you can fucking think of, right? And one thing that I took from that is that every female is the same, guys. Every female that I dated in the past was like, oh, you'll never find one just like me. When in reality, I always found one that was either better or of the same caliber, right? And it's just all about the type of man you are. They just want a man who is strong, who is capable, who can protect, who can provide, and a man who can lead. Most guys think getting women is hard, but it's actually one of the easiest things you can do. And it all comes down to the basic, fellas. Like if you just take care of yourself, right? Because if you take care of yourself, you will be attractive. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I totally get it, right? Somebody may look better than you or whatever, but that's shit you can't control. What you can control is this shit about yourself. A lot of men and a lot of women out there are like, oh, looks don't matter, but looks actually matter. And fellas, I always felt like I was a good looking dude. And when it came to my friends, they acted like I was Jesus when it came to girls, right? But I obviously know that I was inherited and I was blessed with looks and some other things. But what you guys have to understand is that there are also controllable things that I implemented that you guys can also implement too. The most important thing, fellas, when it comes to just getting women and attracting the woman you want, you just have to take care of yourself, right? And that's all there is to it. There's no secret to this shit. You just gotta take care of yourself. Like making sure you have a haircut every 2 weeks, right? That's what I do. I always get my haircut every 2 weeks. I always get my beard lined up, get tapered up. Like the haircut I have now is I just get a low tempo fade. The last one I got was a high tempo fade, and I just keep the waves on the top. I always make sure to have my waves going. Another good haircut with waves is the low drop fade, where it's a fade all around, and because you know how the tempo is just the neck and the temple, obviously, right? But the low drop fade, it goes the whole way around, but it's very low. So if you like having 360 waves, fellas, you get to keep those 360 waves. But sometimes I get in moods to where I want my 360 waves to come all the way down to my hairline. And there's other times where it's like, fuck it, just give me the low drop fade, because that shit looks clean. It looks crispy. So if you're looking to get a good haircut, fellas, get that low drop fade, right? And another thing is that I always make sure I smell good, whether it's my breath or some type of cologne I use, right? I have a lot of colognes I use, but there's one specifically, I forget what it's called. I'll put a picture of it right here, and you guys need to grab that because that shit is game changing, right? Another thing, guys, is just wearing good fits, right? And no, I'm not talking about wearing the skinny jeans with the Jordans. No, guys, like it's time to fucking grow up. Let's like what I like to wear. I like to do the business casual, right? Where I'm wearing like a button-up shirt and some slacks with some dress shoes, or just some I got some other shoes that I like to wear, Coach shoes or just Coach sneakers. They look sick. You can wear those with anything, right? Like I just got back from church today. I just got something simple on, right? I just got this shirt. It's nice, and then I got some jeans on, right? Like, let's grow up. We're not wearing basketball jerseys no more. We're not wearing football jerseys no more. We're not wearing skinny jeans with holes in them, right? We're grown-ass men, so we're gonna look presentable, right? Which is that business casual look. And a lot of people are like, oh, I can't afford dress codes. Yes, you can. Guys, I usually go to fucking Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and that's where the fuck I get my dress shit. Like today, I just snuck up to Walmart right before church and I got dressed. Like, there's shit you can buy for cheap, right? And what's most important about this entire thing, guys, is that when you're fit, you will make the fit, regardless of what the fuck you got on. You can have a black shirt, just blue jeans on, and some black shoes, like, and a watch. Always wear a watch. It makes the entire fit crisp. It doesn't matter if it's a fucking $2 watch. Like, if you have a watch on like this, it'll make the entire fit, right? Like, people will treat you differently. Trust me. Because when I go into stores, when I'm all like right after church, people treat you differently. When I go out to eat, people will treat you differently compared to if I just went out to eat with fucking sweatpants on and a t-shirt, right? And some slides, right? People treat you differently. Like, for example, like when I walked into the gas station last week, right before church, like people were calling me sir. You're welcome, sir, right? Compared to if I just walked in there with some fucking sweatpants on and a hoodie, right? People treat you differently as well. They'll treat you with more respect if you always present yourself in a good way, right? And another big thing is, guys, is just knowing how to communicate with a female. And I'm not talking about you have to have a communication level of fucking Andrew Tate, right? When it comes to communication, guys, it's just more about listening and asking questions, right? That's how you keep a conversation going. It's just always asking open-ended questions, right? And listening more than you're speaking, and taking your time when it comes to communicating. And there's no secret way to be a better communicator, guys, when it's just taking your time when it comes to talking, limiting the cussing, especially if you're talking to a female. And like I said, guys, just listening more than you speak, and always asking open-ended questions. That's how I got over my fear of speaking, because I used to fear speaking a shit ton back in the day. I was always a shy kid, but I used to make myself speak to a certain amount of people a day, and eventually over time it just became more easier every single time, right? And the one thing I focused on was just listening and asking a shit ton of open-ended questions. That's exactly how you keep a conversation going. Now to this day, I'd use the same tactic, and it's like I find myself in fucking an hour conversations with people because I just ask so many open-ended questions. So they're not even realizing that it's just me asking them questions, right? I'm barely saying anything. I'm just asking questions. And it's like, damn, I gotta end this conversation because it's been going on for too long. But yeah, it's very simple, guys. Communication is very simple. Everything you guys look at as hard, it's just actually very simple. And the last thing, guys, is just staying in shape, right? When you're in shape, that and like, okay, for example, let's say you're in shape, right? You got a nice shirt on, you can see your muscles, you can see your chest poking out. That speaks for itself. A lot of females are attracted to that. Like they're like, that'll start conversations with people, right? They'll come up to you and ask you for advice. And when it comes to females, if they're attracted to that, right, they're gonna come up to you, right? And that's why a lot of females came up to me in the past, because I was in shape, right? I always made sure to wear a shirt to where you can see how muscular I am, right? And that just speaks for itself. So most of the time, your physical appearance will speak for itself. That's why it's important to be in shape and also wear a good fit. And if you got those two things locked in, then the world is yours. You can have any chick you want, guys. When it comes to females, guys, it's very simple. Very fucking simple. You just take care of yourself, and that's it. The rest will take care of itself. Just taking responsibility for the things you can control. And fellas, if you need help when it comes to any of the stuff I talked about in this video, getting closer to God, implementing God into your relationship, transforming your physique, you go in my description, you book a call, and we will see if you're a good fit, first of all. And if you are, then we'll work together on your goals and on achieving your goals, and everything will be tailored specifically to you, fellas. And if you found this video helpful, fellas, make sure you like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at Caleb White. It's just Caleb White, all lowercase. Follow me on Instagram to see what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'm always posting on my stories. So if you want to see what my life looks like on a day-to-day, just go follow me on Instagram and watch my stories. But that's all I got for you, fellas, and I'll see you in the next one.